All right, I want to take you guys through some information that I've covered already, but I want everybody to understand when we are. They don't tell you where you are, which is false cosmology, and they don't tell you when you are, which is time. These are two very important subjects that a believer should know. The Hebrew is as followed. Now, this is the first verse in the Bible, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, but this is how it is pronounced in the Hebrew tongue. Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et hashemayim, viet haaretz. That is how it is pronounced in the Hebrew. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, the numerical value for this in Hebrew, not in English, in Hebrew. The numerical for that verse, the numerical value is 2,701. That is the number that one verse adds up to in Hebrew. The numerical value. 2701, which is 37 times 73. Again, if you've heard some of this, that's okay. I'm going to walk people through this. So 37 times 73 is 2701. This is the first verse in the Bible, the numerical value in Hebrew. Okay. In Isaiah 46:10, we know that the Bible says, God declares the end from the beginning, right? So in the beginning, this is as beginning as it gets, the very first verse in the Bible, we should see a marker of the end, right? Well, let me show you that mark. Okay, you need to know what a shmita is. A shmita is every 7 years. It's a Sabbath year, the Shemitah year, the year of release. Okay, so this is how God's calendar works off of 7-year cycles. And again, this was God's calendar that he entrusted to the Israelites, and here we are with the knowledge of it still. So every 7 years, you have a Shemitah or a Sabbath year, and it's according to an agricultural cycle that it was used for. They used to plant for 6 years and give the soil a year to rest. Okay, so this is what a shmita is. And what it is, these agricultural cycles that they used and the gardening and all that, it was all symbolic for prophecy and bigger things. Just like the first man was Adam, a gardener. The second Adam is Jesus, and he was mistaken for a gardener by the woman who saw him, the first woman, right? So it's all symbolic for higher meanings. Just like we are planting seeds, but seeds of faith and knowledge and things like this, right? So this is what the Shemitah is, and this is how God's calendar works. So we take the last 3 Shemitah years. 2015, 7 years past that was 2022, and 7 years past that is 2029, the year of the second coming of Jesus. Now let me show you this pattern. So the formula is that you take these years and you divide them and add them. So for example, 2015, you add 20 plus 15, you have 35 now. 2022, you add 20 plus 22, you have 32 now. 42, excuse me. And 2029, 20 plus 29 is 49. So you have 35, 42, and 49 for the last 3 Shemitahs. The last ones. And now the formula is add 35 plus 42, which is 77. Then multiply that by 49. You get 3773. Do y'all see that? This is something that God showed me by revelation. Complete revelation right there. It is God declaring the end right here from the very beginning, the very first verse in the Bible. And something that is just as incredible as that is that if you take 3 times 7 times 73, you get the number 1533, which is the exact number of verses in the very first book, Genesis, of the Bible. This is how God declares the end from the beginning. Another pattern that is very important to remember. These are simple addition and multiplication formulas. Things that God has shown me that are incredible. We always hear about a 6,000-year-old earth, right? The reason is because from Adam till about now is about 6,000 years. But let me show you that 6,000-year prophecy in the Bible through a mystery. So we have 6 days of creation in the very first chapter of the Bible, the beginning. But there are 24 hours in a day. So let's be fruitful and multiply that. 6 days times 24 hours a day is 144. That number sounds familiar? Of course it does. But then we take in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. A day is as 1,000 years to the Lord, and 1,000 years is as a day to the Lord. So instead of 6 days, let's say 6,000 years, right? Because a day is as 1,000 years to the Lord. So 6 days in turn equals 6,000 years. And then we'll multiply that by 24. And we get 144,000, which is the end. Revelation chapter 7, 12,000 from 12 tribes of Israel get sealed with the seal of God in their forehead. 144,000 Israelites. Do you see how God declares the end from the beginning? And this also proves a pattern and a mystery for the 6,000 years. It's 4,000 years from the beginning to the first time that Jesus Christ came, and it's 2,000 years from there to here, a total of 6,000 years. This is also seen in Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. God said, "My spirit shall not always strive with man, for his years shall be 120. That is talking about a Jubilee year, 120 Jubilees. A Jubilee is a 50-year cycle. 120 times 50 is 6,000 years. And again, man was created on the 6th day. The 6th element on the periodic table of elements is carbon, which man is made of. And Jesus returns at the end of the 6,000th year. So understanding that 2029 is the end, second coming, all you got to do is subtract 3.5 years. That is how long God's vengeance is. It is not 7 years. I repeat, it is not 7 years. We are the daily sacrifice, which is Christ in us, the hope of glory. And when that daily sacrifice is taken away in Daniel chapter 12, then there is 1,290 days to the end. which makes the rapture of the church in 2025. Could it happen sooner? Possibly. But on my channel, I've shown so much evidence in so many ways for the rapture in 2025, possibly 2024. But that's all you have to do. Once you know the end, that's it. And you know there's a 3.5 year God's wrath. That's all you have to do. Go to 2029, subtract 3.5 years, you come straight to 2025.